Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar, which is going to be on the Alessa platform for AML compliance, where Alessa aims to make your AML compliance programs so much better and much easier through the use of technology and automation. So as we go through today's webinar, we'll be talking about firstly introducing Caseware, who are the providers of the solution, and their history as a company, as well as we're going to talk about the Alessa tool, of course, and Symptai Consulting, where I myself am based as a consultant, and any experience that we may have, and introducing the technology to you. Caseware is a company with over 30 years of experience in the industry, developing software for the financial space, where their software is actually in over 100 countries and deployed in over 16 different languages. And to date reports a usage of over 500,000 users worldwide. Now in the financial space, Alessa is actually being used in a number of different industries, from small to medium-sized businesses, as well as financial institutions, banks, fintech companies, money service businesses, as well as in betting, gaming, cryptocurrency, you name it. Alessa looks to have its name across the financial industry. Now, to tell you a little about ourselves, Symptai Consulting is a company that's actually been around for 22 years, since 1998, where we've actually been in the IT consulting business, servicing over 300 clients in over 20 countries, not just within the Caribbean region, but also within Latin America and North America. Now, as we talk about that experience that we have servicing various customers, let me tell you a little bit about our experience within the Caribbean industry. First to mention is MSB Group, who we've been in business with for over 11 years, servicing various AML needs and compliance needs through the use of automated solution to manage and add to their AML compliance program. As early as 2008, deploying for JMB investments, and then later on, deploying through other entities within the JMB group, not just in Jamaica, but also in Trinidad and the Dominican Republic. Similar partnerships extend to even the GK Group through First Global Bank, where we have serviced the bank for a number of years now, also adding to their AML compliance program with a series of analytics across transactions monitoring, our sanction screening, and regulatory reporting modules. As the list goes on, including Sagicor, not just in Jamaica, but various entities across the Sagicor group, as far as banking, insurance, and investments. And the NCB Financial Group, where the Alessa application is being deployed across a number of entities as well to cover their entire financial portfolio. So now let's talk a little bit about the technology that goes into the solution. The Alessa platform aims to be a single platform that allows users to get a complete picture of the AML risk that is posed to the organization across their customer base, transaction base, and various accounts. And within the platform, we look to offer all the necessary services that are needed to fill all the compliance needs. Okay, so here we're showing the technology stack that goes into the Alessa application. Now, Alessa's main offerings are broken down into three main areas: customer due diligence, transaction monitoring, and regulatory reporting. So first, let's start off with sanction screening. Now, sanction screening is broken up into three main areas. We have ad hoc screening, which is where a customer comes in, you have their name and you'd like to screen them. You can use ad hoc screening to get the result for them right away. And next we have batch screening, where if you have multiple customers, whether it's tens, hundreds, or even thousands, if you have multiple customers that you want to screen all together, batch screening will take care of that for you. And finally, real-time screening. Now, real-time screening comes into certain special circumstances. First, if you wanted to screen at onboarding per se, you have a new customer who is being onboarded, but you want to screen them as part of the onboarding process. Real-time screening allows all of that work to take place while the person is being onboarded, or you get them screened and get to review the result even before they get to open an account. And also we use real-time screening for our transaction screening, where this is where we're screening wires, drafts, and other real-time transactions, where we want to be able to screen the parties of that transaction in real time. So this is a part of the demo where we're going to actually show you how sanction screening works within the Alessa application. So right now I'm logged into the Alessa application and I'm here on my dashboard. And my dashboard is going to show me some quick information about what's happening within my area of Alessa. But right now I want to screen someone. So let's say I have a company name, a company that I want to screen for. All I have to do is switch over here to due diligence. And once I get to this screen, it's going to ask me if I want to screen a person or a business. Now I know I want to screen a business, so I'm just going to go to that section here. And all I need to start screening is enter the name of that company. So now let's see if we get a match. Okay, so we now screen the name of the company, and what we're seeing here is actually the information that comes back from that screening process. So first, it gives us a quick profile, just telling us a little bit about the company based on the public information that's known about them. And it also gives us a quick timeline of any news that they've been involved in over the last few years. So there's no need to be searching for information or even going on the internet, conducting your own searches. The goal of screening here is to combine as much information as possible and have it condensed in an area that you can just go to and have all access. Very easy. It's even going to show me any known connections that the company has to any other entities or any other known entities that I may want to see their profile as well. And all the information that it's showing you here, it has all the sources collected for you. So if you wanted to continue with your own independent research, or you just needed to cite your sources, it's all here and it's all condensed right here for you. And as an added convenience, if you need it as a PDF, you just need to click the print button and it'll download the profile for you right to your computer. And there you go. You can take this screening, share it with someone outside of the Alessa system or even outside of your department, include it in your reports, and just like that, very easy. Now, while in the Alessa application, I'm going to get a number of alerts around my analytics. Now, Alessa supports a number of different analytics to monitor the different areas of risk around the company. And within that, I have access to a wide range of analytics, whether it be around the controls monitoring, customer controls monitoring, KYC related analytics, or even customer profiling. All of that can be accessed right here, and even transactions monitoring. Now, when I open one of the analytics, it's going to give me information based on a set of rules. Now, those rules can be decided between the regulator, decided within the company, or based on our consulting, we can recommend a set of rules to you to manage the various risks that poses to your organization. And once you've agreed on a set of rules and we put them together, we develop your analytics and have them available here for you in a nice and easy format. So I have access to all of this and more in the Alessa application. Now, what if I wanted to actually see more information or some insights based on what's coming to me in my analytics or in my screening? Well, I can go back to my dashboard and actually see some of the customized dashboards that are here for me in screening or my transactions. So let's go to the screening dashboard. Now on my screening dashboard, here it's showing me all the screening matches that I have in the application and various information about where those matches are coming from. So I can see the different alert types, whether it's from law enforcement, PEPs, or other regulatory enforcement bodies. I can see the countries for each of those matches. And I can even break it down into a pie chart here to give me a 360 view as to everything happening with screening. Well, let's say I want to see what's happening with my transactions analytics. Here in Alessa, we have the ability to build full-blown dashboards and full-blown visualizations that can be tailored to your needs. Whether you like it in a chart, you want to show transaction histories. This is all custom made and tailor-made to suit your needs. Now, when consulting for the transaction analytics, what we do is we first sit down and understand what data is actually available in your organization. What are the building blocks that we can use to build the different analytics and rules to manage the risk in your organization? By first understanding that and then doing an assessment as to the risks that are most important based on your business and based on your customer activity, we can recommend a set of analytics to you, which will then be used to develop not just your analytic base, but also your customer risk scoring base. Now, let's talk a little bit about regulatory reporting. Now, regulatory reporting supports a number of different platforms in Alessa, but for the Caribbean, we mainly support the Go AML platform, which means a number of the reports that you would normally fill in on the Go AML platform can be accessed and filled out right here in Alessa. Now, in the tool, you can actually create your own. So if you wanted to create a new threshold transaction report or a new STR or suspicious transaction report, you can do that right in Alessa without having to leave it or log into a different system. But one of the best parts about it is that, especially for those that can be filled in, we look to generate up to 80% or more of the required information to fill out those reports. So let's say you had a series of TTRs that you had to fill out. We can actually identify the transactions that are needed for the TTR, create those alerts to tell you that these transactions need to be reported. And with all the data that's available, we'll look to fill out as much information as possible in that report. So by the time it gets to you, you won't need to fill out most of it yourself. So we aim to satisfy about 80% or more of the actual reporting needs, but that's all dependent on what data is actually available. Now, once you're in Alessa, you can receive the report, you can review the report, and you can also validate the report. So before it even gets to your regulator, you can actually check to see what fields are missing, what information needs to be filled in, and the tool will actually tell you what information needs to be filled in before it gets to your regulator and ensure that by the time it's finished, you just click a button and it'll generate the report for you in an XML, and then you just upload that to your regulator and you're done. And of course, we do work with you in terms of what data is available and what data may need to be collected to ensure that you're filling your reports out in a very efficient and straightforward manner. Now, let's talk a little bit about what goes behind the scenes in Alessa. Now, a typical deployment, we have two main types. We have what's called an on-premise deployment, where you work to acquire your own servers, and we're going to say, hey, we're going to put the Alessa on site, where your internal IT team can manage that deployment. And the second option is actually in the cloud. Alessa offers a cloud option where it can be deployed either in Alessa's cloud, which is offered, or if you have a private cloud of your own, we can have it hosted in your private cloud. Now, if it's hosted in the Alessa cloud, then many of the maintenance activities and maintenance required for the system are taken care of by the Alessa team. Otherwise, we do offer support where we can advise on what the best infrastructure is needed to run the Alessa application. Okay, so now let's talk about the project approach. How are we going to implement Alessa in your business? So first, we can talk about what are the various objectives that we want to achieve and what are the different areas of risk that we want to cover. So we have a series of conversations with you and any other stakeholders to get an understanding as to what are the different areas that you would like Alessa to cover within the organization, after which point we can help in identifying what the major risk factors are and an analytics set that can help to mitigate risk around those areas. Now, once we've done all those various things, we obviously get into conversations around how we're going to get access to data, how we're going to manage the data coming into the application. And we are with you for those conversations every step of the way for all the different parties that need to be spoken to. Now, once we've done that, then we can start testing and get ready to put your analytics in production. So thank you very much for attending today's webinar, and enjoy the rest of your day.